Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that every man should master, flirting. But not just flirting, the subtle, powerful techniques that create real attraction without being over the top or forced. If you've ever wondered why some guys can effortlessly spark chemistry while others struggle to get past small talk, the secret is in the details. Women are incredibly perceptive, and how you hold eye contact, the energy in your conversation, and even your body language can make or break an interaction. In this video, we're breaking down 5 subtle flirting techniques that drive women wild. You'll learn how to create intrigue, build emotional connection, and keep her wanting more, all while staying natural and confident. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end, because the last technique is the most underrated yet highly effective way to build real attraction. So, if you're ready to step up your flirting game and create more profound, magnetic connections, let's begin. 1. Subtle flirting, the art of attraction without force. Flirting is an intricate dance, a delicate exchange of signals that builds attraction without overwhelming or pressuring the other person. Women appreciate confidence, but are often repelled by aggressive or overtly pushy behavior. The most successful approach is subtlety, where interest is shown through nonverbal cues, light humor, and an easygoing presence. This kind of flirting creates anticipation, allowing attraction to develop naturally. One of the most powerful tools in this process is eye contact. Holding eye contact for a few seconds before looking away signals confidence and interest. It conveys that you are present in the moment, see her, and are comfortable in your skin. Adding a slight smile before breaking eye contact creates warmth, making the interaction feel inviting rather than intimidating. But balance is key. Prolonged staring can be intrusive, while too little eye contact may suggest nervousness or lack of interest. A genuine smile is another subtle but effective way to communicate attraction. A genuine smile engages the entire face, especially the eyes. Women instinctively recognize the difference between a forced grin and a natural expression of warmth. Smiling too much or exaggeratedly can feel unnatural or even unsettling. Instead, a simple, relaxed smile at the right moment, perhaps when she says something amusing or when your eyes meet unexpectedly, can create an instant connection. Body language plays a crucial role in subtle flirting. Women are drawn to men who appear open and engaged rather than closed off or defensive. Standing with a relaxed posture, facing her directly, and keeping arms uncrossed all contribute to a sense of approachability. Slightly leaning in when she speaks signals that you are genuinely interested in what she says, but it must be done with awareness. If she leans in as well, it's a sign that she feels comfortable. If she shifts back, she may need more space, and respecting that space is just as important as showing interest. Subtle flirting is most effective when it builds naturally over time rather than feeling forced or staged. Many men make the mistake of overloading a woman with intense compliments or excessive teasing right away. This can feel overwhelming and insincere. Instead, allowing a bit of mystery to linger, letting her wonder about your level of interest rather than making it blatantly obvious, creates a far more compelling dynamic. Women enjoy the excitement of a gradual connection rather than one immediately laid out in full. Mirroring is another unconscious way to create a sense of connection. When people feel comfortable with each other, they mimic their body language without realizing it. If she crosses her legs, doing the same a few moments later can signal subconscious alignment. If she rests her chin in her hand while speaking, following suit relaxed, can create a subtle feeling of harmony. This is not about copying her actions exaggeratedly or mechanically, but rather about naturally syncing with her rhythm in conversation. Physical closeness, when done respectfully, is another element of effective flirting. A slight lean forward when she is speaking shows engagement and attentiveness. If she responds by leaning in as well, it signals increasing comfort. However, awareness of her response is key. If she pulls back or shifts away, it's essential to respect her boundaries and not try to force closeness. Touch, when used appropriately and sparingly, can deepen the connection. A light, friendly tap on the arm during a shared laugh, or a brief touch on the shoulder in a moment of genuine connection can build rapport. However, initiating physical contact too early or frequently can create discomfort rather than attraction. Women are highly perceptive regarding body language and respond best when physical interaction feels organic rather than calculated. The key to subtle flirting is effortlessness. It should feel natural rather than rehearsed, an unspoken exchange rather than a scripted performance. Women appreciate men who can balance confidence with restraint, charm with authenticity, and interest with patience. When done well, subtle flirting draws a woman in, sparking curiosity and attraction without ever needing to be forced. 2. Unlocking the secrets of nonverbal communication. Long before words are spoken, attraction has already begun to unfold in the silent space between two people. Women are naturally perceptive when it comes to body language. They pick up on subtle cues, interpret micro-expressions, and instinctively read a man's confidence level before saying a word. This is why understanding nonverbal communication is essential. A man aware of how he carries himself, moves, and reacts in the presence of a woman can create a strong, subconscious sense of attraction without trying too hard. One of the most revealing aspects of nonverbal communication is micro-expressions. These brief flashes of emotion, often lasting less than a second, offer insight into what a person is truly feeling. A woman may raise her eyebrows slightly when she sees you, a signal of curiosity or interest. A quick, genuine smile that fades naturally, rather than lingers in a forced way, suggests a positive reaction. Even a slight widening of her pupils can be a biological indication that she is drawn to you. The key is to be observant. Many men miss these signals because they are too focused on what they will say next, instead of paying attention to the natural responses of the woman in front of them. Beyond micro-expressions, body language plays a crucial role in how attraction develops. A man's posture speaks volumes about his confidence. Standing with shoulders and chest open and maintaining relaxed but intentional movements projects a sense of self-assurance. On the other hand, a slouched posture, fidgeting, or avoiding eye contact can send signals of insecurity or hesitation. A woman will often mirror the body language of someone she feels connected to. If she unconsciously mirrors your movements, leans in slightly when you speak, or adjusts her posture to match yours, these are strong signs of attraction operating at a subconscious level. Reading these signs of interest requires awareness, but also a balanced mindset. A woman is likely engaged if she maintains intense eye contact, leans in while talking, or plays with her hair during a conversation. Subtle physical movements, like tilting her head while listening or exposing her wrists, are natural signs of comfort and openness. However, if she frequently looks away, crosses her arms tightly, or shifts her body away from you, it may indicate discomfort or disinterest. Many men ignore these signals and push forward, instead of recognizing when to adjust their approach. Attraction cannot be forced. It develops naturally or fades based on the interaction. Physical touch can build a more profound sense of connection when done correctly and at the right time. A light touch on her hand while sharing a laugh or briefly naturally brushing against her shoulder can create a sense of familiarity and warmth. A playful moment, such as brushing off an imaginary speck of dust from her sleeve, can be a subtle way to introduce touch without making it feel forced. However, the key is to gauge her response. If she leans into the touch or reciprocates somehow, it's a sign of comfort. If she stiffens or moves away, it indicates slowing down. Attraction is a two-way exchange, and the most important rule is to let her meet you halfway, rather than trying to force a dynamic that isn't naturally unfolding. Proximity plays a defining role in non-viewable attraction. The space between two people carries meaning. Standing or sitting slightly closer than usual without invading personal boundaries, creating a sense of intimacy. A woman moving closer to you during a conversation is a strong sign of comfort and engagement. If she finds reasons to touch your arm while making a point or shifts her body to face yours directly, these are signals of interest. Conversely, if she maintains distance, turns her body away, or avoids lingering near you, it suggests a need for space. The ability to read these cues and adjust accordingly shows social intelligence, which is one of the most attractive traits a man can display. Mastering nonverbal communication is not about memorizing techniques or analyzing every movement calculatedly. It is about developing a more profound awareness, paying attention to what is happening, rather than being lost in your thoughts or expectations. Women respond to men who are present, who can read the energy of an interaction, and who naturally adjust without effort or force. When a man understands this silent language of attraction, he no longer needs to rely solely on words to make a connection. The conversation has already begun before a single word is spoken. 3. Flirting through conversation. Flirting is often misunderstood as a game of witty lines and charming gestures, but at its core, it is about connection. A woman is not drawn to a man simply because of his words, but because of how he makes her feel. The proper conversation can create intrigue, excitement, and a sense of familiarity that deepens attraction. True flirting is not about trying too hard or relying on rehearsed lines. It is about being present, engaging, and knowing how to make an interaction flow naturally. A man who flirts effectively understands the importance of genuine interest. Women are naturally drawn to men who pay attention to what they say, who remember small details, and who respond with enthusiasm rather than just polite acknowledgement. A simple question like, "What's something you love doing but don't get to do enough?" invites her to share something meaningful. When she talks about her passions, the key is to engage with curiosity, asking follow-up questions, connecting to your experiences, and reacting sincerely. Show her she is being heard. Finding common ground is another way to create instant chemistry. The connection strengthens effortlessly when two people discover shared interests. Whether it's a favorite travel destination, a love for a specific type of music, or a similar sense of humor. Expressing excitement when you find something in common, saying something as simple as, "No way, I love that too," creates an immediate sense of familiarity. However, even if there isn't an apparent shared interest, showing appreciation for her enthusiasm and allowing the conversation to flow naturally keeps the interaction engaging. Humor is one of the most potent tools in flirting. Laughter creates comfort, breaks down barriers, and makes interactions feel effortless. Playful teasing is an effective way to build attraction, as long as it is done with the right energy. A light-hearted challenge like, "You seem too confident about winning this game," adds a fun dynamic to the conversation. The key is to be playful, not condescending. Women are drawn to men who can tease in a way that feels fun rather than mean-spirited. Avoid sarcasm that can come across as arrogant or dismissive, and instead focus on humor that brings both of you into the moment. Flirting is not just about making a woman laugh. It is about balancing energy in a way that keeps her engaged. Too much deep conversation too quickly can feel overwhelming, while too much joking without substance can make an interaction seem shallow. A smooth transition between playful banter and more meaningful topics creates depth. The ability to shift gears naturally, from teasing her about a funny childhood memory to talking about something she deeply cares about, makes a conversation feel dynamic and exciting. One of the most underrated aspects of flirting is pacing. Many men make the mistake of rushing to fill every silence or oversharing to impress, but true confidence is shown in the ability to let a moment breathe. Silence, when used correctly, can build anticipation. A well-timed pause before responding, a lingering glance, or simply allowing her to process a joke before laughing creates a subtle tension that heightens attraction. Conversations should have a natural rhythm where both people are engaged without either one dominating. Flirting through conversation is an art, not a formula. The men who master it are not the ones with the best pickup lines or the most practiced techniques, but the ones who make a woman feel seen, appreciated, and entertained. The interaction becomes memorable when words are used with the right intention, to connect rather than impress. A woman will not always remember the exact words a man said to her, but she will never forget how he made her feel. 4. Creating a connection through shared experiences. Flirting is often thought of as a game of words. Quick wit, playful teasing, and well-timed compliments. While verbal skills certainly play a role, true attraction is forged in the space between words, in the shared moments that linger long after the conversation ends. Women are drawn to experiences, how a moment makes them feel, rather than the exact words spoken. A man who understands this does not rely on scripted lines or grand gestures, but instead focuses on creating an environment where emotions unfold naturally, where laughter, curiosity, and connection take root organically. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate this connection is through interactive activities. Traditional dates like dinner and a movie often fail to create the kind of dynamic engagement that fosters attraction. A meal can feel like an interview with both parties searching for things to say, and a movie offers little opportunity for actual connection. Instead, choosing activities that require active participation, cooking together, hiking a scenic trail, visiting an art exhibit, or even something as simple as browsing through a quirky bookstore, provides a shared experience that forms the foundation of emotional connection. These activities allow for effortless conversation, natural body language, and unspoken moments that words alone cannot capture. Engaging in playful competition is another way to strengthen a bond. A light-hearted challenge. Who can make the better cup of coffee? Who wins at a spontaneous game of rock, paper, scissors? Or even a silly bet like, if I win this round, you owe me a dance, creates an atmosphere of fun and intrigue. The key here is balance. Women are not drawn to men who need to win at all costs, but to those who can compete with charm and playfulness. The goal is not to prove superiority, but to build rapport through shared laughter and interaction. A playful challenge engages her emotions like standard conversation does not. It makes the moment feel special, spontaneous, and unique to just the two of you. Shared experiences also pave the way for more profound emotional connection. While light-hearted fun creates chemistry, meaningful conversations build trust and intimacy. It is not about dumping personal details too soon, but about gradually revealing layers of yourself in a way that invites her to do the same. A well-placed story about a past adventure, a childhood memory, or a personal challenge humanizes you and allows you to feel comfortable opening up in return. Asking thoughtful questions about her aspirations, passions, and life experiences shows genuine interest. Women are naturally intuitive regarding emotional connection. They can sense when a man is simply waiting for his turn to speak, versus when he is genuinely engaged. A man who listens actively, who responds with curiosity rather than obligation, stands out in a world where most interactions feel transactional. Inside jokes are another underrated yet powerful tool in deepening attraction. The ability to create an exclusive sense of humor between two people fosters a feeling of closeness. A light-hearted remark made in the conversation can be playfully brought back later, reinforcing a sense of shared understanding. If she jokingly claims to be the worst cook, a playful comment later, "Remind me never to trust you in a kitchen," keeps the interaction fun and engaging. These moments of continuity make the conversation feel personal and unique, as if you have developed a secret language. The setting of an interaction plays a crucial role in how the experience is perceived. A date that stays in one place can feel static, whereas a shift in environment adds energy and variety. Moving from one location to another, starting with coffee, transitioning to a walk through a park, and then stopping by a live music event, creates a sense of shared adventure. Each setting brings fresh topics of conversation, making the experience feel layered and spontaneous rather than predictable. The act of physically moving together mirrors the natural progression of connection, making the time spent together feel immersive and engaging. What makes a man attractive is what he says, and how he makes a woman feel in his presence. Attraction is not a checklist of behaviors, but a series of moments that build upon one another. When a woman recalls an interaction, she is not replaying individual words in her mind. She remembers how she felt, the stirred emotions, and the shared energy. A man who understands this shifts his focus away from impressing with words and instead cultivates experiences that allow chemistry to unfold naturally. By embracing the power of shared moments, by leading interactions with a sense of curiosity, playfulness, and emotional presence, he creates a connection that is not only enjoyable at the moment, but lingers long after the interaction has ended. This is the essence of true attraction, not a performance or formula, but an organic and dynamic exchange that feels effortless yet deeply compelling. 5. Making it work, applying subtle flirting techniques. Flirting is an art, not a science. It is not about following strict rules or memorizing lines that sound good in theory but fall flat in practice. It is about connection, energy, and the ability to create an atmosphere of playful intrigue between two people. Done right, flirting is effortless. It flows naturally, enjoyably builds tension, and leaves both people wanting more. But flirting is also skill, and like any skill, it requires practice, refinement, and, most importantly, authenticity. A man who understands the nuances of flirting does not approach interactions with an agenda. Instead, he allows the moment to unfold naturally, while guiding the interaction with confidence and emotional intelligence. Confidence is the core of effective flirting. It is not just about what you say, but how you carry yourself, present your energy, and how comfortable you are in your skin. True confidence is quiet, steady, and grounded. It does not seek validation or attempt to dominate the interaction. A confident man does not need to prove himself. He is comfortable with silence, unpredictability, and the ebb and flow of conversation. His presence is magnetic, not because he demands attention, but because he exudes a sense of ease. Posture, eye contact, and voice play a significant role in how confidence is perceived. Standing tall with relaxed shoulders, making consistent but not overly intense eye contact, and speaking in an apparent controlled tone signals self-assurance. But confidence does not mean arrogance. The moment confidence turns into self-importance, it loses its appeal. Women are highly attuned to authenticity, and the fastest way to break attraction is to try too hard. A man at ease with himself is far more attractive than a man who overcompensates to gain approval. Flirting is not about forcing an outcome. It is about navigating the social dynamic with awareness and adaptability. Every interaction is different, and the ability to read the room is crucial. Some women enjoy playful teasing, while others prefer a more subtle and reserved approach. A man who understands flirting knows when to escalate and when to pull back. He attains the other person's body language, tone, and engagement. A receptive woman will maintain eye contact, lean in slightly, and engage actively in conversation. She may hesitate, create physical distance, or give shorter responses if reserved or unsure. These are not signs of rejection, but indicators that a different approach may be needed. The best flirts are not those who push forward regardless of feedback, but those who adjust in real time. This ability to adapt is what separates natural charm from forced effort. Flirting is, at its core, about creating tension. The kind of tension that builds anticipation and intrigue. Playful teasing, light-hearted challenges, and witty banter contribute to this dynamic. But flirting is not about overpowering the conversation or trying to be the funniest person in the room. It is about finding a rhythm that allows for a natural energy exchange. Playfulness works best when it is situational and organic. Rather than relying on rehearsed jokes or generic compliments, an effective flirt responds to the moment. He notices the little things, a quirk in her personality, a playful contradiction in what she says, and uses that as an opportunity to build rapport. Humor should feel spontaneous, not scripted. But there is a fine line between playful teasing and coming across as dismissive or condescending. A man who flirts well understands that his words should invite engagement, not interrupt the conversation. The goal is not to win, but to create a space where both people feel entertained, challenged, and intrigued. Attraction is never about force, it is about presence. A woman must feel safe, comfortable, and genuinely interested before engaging. Respecting boundaries is essential, not just physical boundaries but emotional ones as well. A man who understands attraction will take the hint if a woman pulls away, seems disinterested, or disengages from the conversation. He does not chase or attempt to convince her of his worth. Instead, he gracefully steps back, recognizing that attraction should always be mutual. The fastest way to kill attraction is to ignore a woman's signals. A man who persists when she is not interested does not appear confident, he appears desperate. On the other hand, a man who respects a woman's space and allows her to come to him demonstrates emotional intelligence. Women are drawn to men who create an inviting presence, not those who demand attention. Flirting is a dance between revealing enough to build connection and holding back enough to create intrigue. A man who shares too much too soon removes the sense of mystery, while a man who is too guarded creates distance. The balance lies in being open, engaged, and expressive while maintaining an element of unpredictability. A confident flirt does not lay all his cards on the table at once. He allows the conversation to develop naturally, revealing bits and pieces about himself over time. This gradual unfolding keeps interactions exciting and prevents them from feeling one-sided or predictable. Authenticity is the foundation of all successful interactions. Women have an innate ability to detect inauthenticity, and nothing is more unattractive than someone pretending to be someone they are not. Flirting should never feel like a performance. If it does, it is being done wrong. A man who understands flirting embraces his natural personality rather than forcing a persona. If he is naturally witty, he allows that to come through. If he is more reserved, he does not pretend to be outgoing just for attraction. True confidence comes from self-acceptance, and the most attractive men are those who are unapologetically themselves. Flirting is not a perfect strategy. It is an enjoyable experience. The best interactions happen when there is no pressure for a specific outcome. A man who flirts well does not approach conversations with a sense of neediness. He engages because he enjoys the connection, playfulness, and moment's energy. When flirting is done right, it is effortless. It is not about getting a number, securing a date, or proving anything. It is about creating a dynamic where both people are fully engaged and intrigued by the interaction. And when that happens, attraction is not something that needs to be forced. It happens naturally. Final thoughts. Mastering subtle flirting, the art of building genuine attraction. Flirting is often misunderstood as a flashy display of confidence or an overly rehearsed performance. However, the most effective form of attraction is subtle, natural, and rooted in authentic connection. Women are highly perceptive regarding social dynamics and respond best to men who engage with them in a way that feels organic rather than forced. The key is to balance confidence, playfulness, and respect, while allowing moments to unfold naturally. One of the most potent ways to create attraction is through non-verbal communication. Eye contact, for example, can communicate far more than words ever could. A lingering gaze held for just a second longer than usual creates a sense of intrigue and builds a connection that is felt rather than spoken. Similarly, subtle touches, like a light brush of the hand or a playful tap on the shoulder, can establish a sense of intimacy without feeling intrusive. The key is attuning to her reactions and ensuring that every interaction is well received. Playfulness is another essential element of subtle flirting. Women are naturally drawn to men who can make them smile and bring light to their interactions. A well-timed tease or a witty remark shows confidence and creates a dynamic where she enjoys your presence. However, playfulness should never come at the expense of respect. A man who can flirt effectively understands the balance between being charming and considerate. Confidence, when expressed correctly, is magnetic. However, true confidence is not about trying to impress or seeking validation. It is about being comfortable in your skin. A man who is at ease with himself naturally puts others at ease as well. When speaking to a woman, maintaining steady eye contact, speaking clearly, and carrying yourself with a relaxed presence all signal confidence without arrogance. Women are not drawn to men who try too hard. They are drawn to men who exude quiet self-assurance. One of the most underrated flirting techniques is the power of curiosity. Asking thoughtful questions, actively listening, and showing genuine interest in her perspectives make a woman feel valued and understood. Instead of relying on generic compliments, engaging her in meaningful conversation creates a deeper connection. When a man listens with intention and responds with insight, he separates himself from the crowd. Ultimately, the key to successful flirting is not to follow a rigid formula or memorize scripted lines. It is about being present, reading social cues, and allowing moments to develop naturally. You can create deeper connections and build effortless attraction by applying these 5 subtle techniques: mastering nonverbal cues, embracing playfulness, engaging in thoughtful curiosity, and maintaining respect. Flirting is an art, and the most powerful techniques are often subtle. Women are drawn to men who exude confidence without arrogance, charm without forcefulness, and playfulness without immaturity. Eye contact, a slight smile, and open body language set the stage for attraction without a single word spoken. How you carry yourself, mirror her movements, and engage with her presence creates an unspoken connection that deepens the interaction. Nonverbal communication plays a crucial role. Every glance, every micro-expression, and every slight touch speaks volumes before words are exchanged. When you can read her responses, adjust your approach, and create an atmosphere of comfort and excitement, attraction unfolds naturally. But flirting is not just about silent signals. It thrives through words and shared moments. A well-placed question inviting her to share something personal, a playful tease that sparks laughter, or a shared inside joke that makes your conversation unique adds intrigue and connection. The key is balance, being present without overwhelming, showing interest without interrogating, and creating light-hearted energy while allowing for more profound, meaningful moments. Shared experiences bring all of this to life. Whether engaging in an activity together, playfully competing in a friendly challenge, or simply switching up the setting to keep things dynamic, the magic of flirting lies in the moment's spontaneity. Attraction is never about forcing a connection. It's about allowing it to grow naturally. Confidence, awareness, and respect form the foundation of successful flirting. When you can read the situation, pace yourself, and adapt to her level of comfort and engagement, you create an environment where chemistry can flourish. The key is to stay authentic, enjoy the interaction, and let the process unfold without pressure. What do you think? Have you used any of these techniques before? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on attraction, confidence, and building deeper connections.